All right, guys. So our third topic here today is going to be the final topic that we're going to be shilling out for Warner and HBO Max. I guess you could say in some ways I was just saying kind of off camera that we're the least paid shills for Warner Media and HBO Max. So we're expecting those checks in the mail at any point in time for all this advertising we're doing for you guys. But anyway, HBO Max has finally, as we all kind of knew when HBO Max first came out, they botched their whole launch in a lot of ways. I mean, I don't even know where you can really begin with it. I mean, the two most primary kind of botch jobs would be the fact that they didn't release on um, Amazon Fire Sticks, or, the Amazon platform, and they didn't release on Roku, which are the two most used but just streaming platforms in general. Like I think Roku had 45 million users, like active users, just as of like last month or something they reported, if I remember correctly. So HBO Max comes out and they're not even available on, the two biggest streaming platforms available. That's their first mistake. But then I guess technically speaking, you could say the first mistake was their name. Because I mean, I guess their name happened first. Because there was just so much confusion. Even me, someone who is invested in this, entertainment world, was confused about it at first. And but someone like me is just going to actually care and look into it. Like most people, they're just going to hear the name and just be like, I already have HBO. Like, I don't know what that means. But like, they literally had HBO proper, and then they have HBO Go, HBO Now, and then HBO Max. And it's like I'm probably missing one. Like I don't even remember. But that was their first mistake, in my opinion. They should have called it Warner something. To something that made people know that it was a Warner Brothers streaming platform that includes HBO and it includes DC, and I mean, it would have been much better for branding. Okay, like that's my 2 cents on it. But I know I'm trying to shill out for him here, so I probably shouldn't be talking so much shit. But that all being said, though, I actually like HBO Max. I think it's a great platform, and I mean they got some great, as far as original content goes, they're popping off in ways that like Disney Plus is not popping off, despite them having double the subscribers. Like literally, it's kind of crazy when you look at it, but hopefully that'll change for them. Now that they're actually available, like a couple weeks ago, they got their the HBO Max app available on the Amazon Fire devices. Now they're finally on the Roku devices. So at least now they're going to be available to the masses, because prior they weren't. So hopefully that can help boost their numbers a bit. And then obviously they're making a big play to increase their numbers with their announcement to put all their 2021 releases straight on HBO Max. So like it's I'll tell you what, at the very least, it's good that they've gotten the Amazon and Roku stuff out of the way before all those releases in 2021. Like that's the biggest, I guess, kudos I can give to them at this point, because everything else, like I said, like the name not being available on these things, that's what hurt them the most. Like in all honesty, like because Disney Plus, when it came out, it was everywhere. You could get it on your phone, you could get it on your Roku, you could do whatever you wanted with it. They made sure they were available in as many places as possible. And at this point, it was just like the availability in international markets that are the only issue is for Disney at this point. And even now, we saw in the investors call, they're doing what they can to fix that or remedy that situation by incorporating that Star platform. So like in places that Disney Plus isn't available, they're making but Star is available. That like the Hulu and Disney Plus content is going to be made available on that Star platform, and then on top of that, the that Star platform is going to be integrated into Disney Plus to anywhere that Hulu isn't available, because it's all under Disney. I know we're moving to Disney stuff, but it's all relevant. Okay, it's all relevant, guys. But what do you guys got anything to add about this HBO Max stuff? Because like I said, I want HBO Max to succeed. It's probably too late for them in the game to actually change their name to Warner Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
But I still think they probably should, but it's probably too late. But what do you guys think about this?
It's weird that they do have so many different versions of HBO, but I mean, I think they should rename it, like you said. But other than that, It's cool. Roku's on a lot of different devices, so opens things up a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, it's what should have happened, like you said, from the jump. They should have been everywhere. They should have had these deals in place. The whole service was seemingly rushed out. Although you made an excellent point about their original content is popping off. I mean, they got a ton of really good original content. They've got good back content too. I think even at the higher price point, I mean, it's over twice what it costs for a new Disney Plus subscription.
Right
Um,
now,
but right now, sure,
they're
and
definitely.
you
Yeah.
know Disney's gonna
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah.
be at $10 a month for Disney, but sooner rather than later.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And probably pushing 15 somewhere in the
Mhm.
next 5 years or so.
Absolutely.
But I still think that Warner's has just as much, if not more, content available on their site, and it's it's all relative as to what you care about and what you like. And obviously, Disney has the Disney movies, and for families, Disney Plus is almost a no brainer. If you have young children in the house, Disney movies are what are marketed on TV. It's what they see in front of their eyeballs every time they go in the stores. So it makes complete sense to have Disney Plus as a subscription. HBO doesn't have that kind of that niche market built in that they can just lean on or hang their hat
Yeah.
on.
Not by
Which,
name anyway, really, right?
not by name. No,
Yeah.
I mean they have Looney Tunes and stuff, but Looney Tunes as a brand is not.
It's not.
compete
It's
with
not. Yeah, not anymore.
Disney.
It's like it's almost obscure anymore.
Sure. And they've got DC stuff, but DC they botched that whole thing because DC had its own streaming platform, and then trying to incorporate that into the Disney or the HBO Max stuff was not handled well, to say the least.
Yeah.
And then like you've mentioned multiple times, they had licensed out so much of their content and it was coming in piecemeal, and they weren't able to say, hey, we've got this one thing. The biggest thing they were able to say that they had was Friends. They were able to say it's no longer on Netflix, we've got Friends, and that was it. But
and
that
just
was
before
about
the
it.
release, they went and spent I want to say it was like $250 million to get the license for South Park.
Damn.
So coming out of the gate, that's really the big two things that they had. They were taking away from other
Yeah.
platforms was Friends and South Park. That was pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, Friends was one of the top 5 to 10 streaming shows on Netflix every year.
Mhm.
And I think they were counting on a lot of people following over to HBO Max because of that, but I don't know that it actually happened. So anyway, that's a long way of getting to. I mean, this is all. It's good news for them. It's good news for the consumers. But it's also kind of just it should have happened right away. I mean, it's silly that we're talking about this, 8 months after the platform premiered.
Yeah, that's what at this point what you could almost say, or I guess fear in a lot of ways for them, because it's not really going to affect me in any way. But it's kind of maybe too little, too late for them as far as increasing the subscriber count alone by being available on these devices. That's why, again, it's probably. I mean, it's absolutely a good thing that they made the platform available or the app available on both these platforms prior to their big 2021 movie push, because that's what they're banking on is going to get their subscriber count to be in a more competitive position for Disney Plus. Because I mean, that's where all this is really coming from. And in my mind's eye is that they got the Disney numbers like we all did, and they saw, they're literally being lapped at this point in
Yeah.
subscribers. I mean, Disney hasn't caught up to Netflix numbers yet, but Netflix has been
It
around
will.
for 10 years. Yeah, so for Disney Plus to be halfway to Netflix, or maybe a little bit less than halfway, but close to Netflix, and they were only being around for a year with just The Mandalorian, essentially. That's a big deal. And HBO is kind of one of more similar places Netflix has been, because it's been around forever. Which again lends itself to the naming confusion of it all. Is I did not help it in any way. I just feel like the branding of it itself just hurt it so bad. Because everyone was just confused about
If
it.
people if people were going to subscribe to HBO, they had a streaming HBO service. People would have already been subscribed to it. So I'm not sure why they thought changing the last word from being Now to Max would all of a sudden get people to go, oh yeah, I want that. Most of the general consumer out there that doesn't spend their time reading up about this stuff or researching it would probably heard them announce HBO Max and went, doesn't that already exist? Isn't that what's already out? Like I don't care about subscribing to HBO. I like some of their stuff occasionally, but I don't subscribe to it now. I'm not sure why adding the word Max is going to get me to change my.
Yeah. That's why I like it literally, because like HBO Max, like their big branding push for it was like you had the HBO Max logo, but then they would put down like their exclusive like big brands like a DC logo, and they kind of like when you log on to Disney Plus, you see Star Wars,
Pixar.
that, and then so HBO Max did the same thing, but I feel like it would have been a lot more powerful if they had like Warner Plus or whatever, and then had HBO underneath it with DC,
Definitely.
Looney Tunes, Crunchyroll when they had.
Who cares about Looney Tunes though? I mean,
immediately
that's their big kid thing. That's what they have to offer. You know what I mean? So they have to brand it. You know.
Yeah.
Doing something like that immediately in the consumer's mind, they would know, oh, I've never heard of this. This must be something new, or even like you said, if they had done Warner Brothers Plus, then they would have gone, oh wait, there's Disney Plus. That's Disney's. This must be like Disney's streaming service. There would have been that instant recognition, or Warner Flicks or something. Try and tie into somebody else's name. Just straight up steal part of somebody else's name.
That's what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
That's why Disney Plus went with it, because Apple Plus was there, so they went Disney Plus, and then now Paramount, like CBS All Access, is rebranding themselves to Paramount Plus. Like literally, like that's coming around the corner soon, because like they're not idiots. They know nobody knows. It's hard to differentiate or to understand to the modern, just general consumer out there who's not really following this stuff, like what CBS All Access is. So like when you say Paramount Plus, it instantly in the consumer's mind, like they understand what it is without having to do too much research into it. They say, okay, it's probably something to do with Paramount Pictures and streaming, just by the name itself. With HBO Max, it's like, don't I already have that? Like, what's the difference? And it's still like, and like I said, even when they first announced HBO Max, like even I was confused and had to go look up what the hell the difference was. But no one else is going to do that. No one else is going to actually talk about it in this format. Like they're just going to look and see if it's something they want, like it's just stupid. It's stupid. So it might be too little too late. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But in the end, it is good that they're finally made its way on these platforms. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think it's too little too late? Do you think they should just change their name? Do you think it'd be better for them, even this late in the game, just to rebrand to Warner Plus or Warner? I don't know what it would be. I guess that's the other unfortunate problem, is that like they don't have a good name for it, like a plus, like Warner Brothers Plus, because they're not even Warner Brothers anymore. It's Warner Media. They've already renamed Warner Brothers to Warner Media after AT&T bought them. So like I don't know, like, do you guys even just a quick hypothesis on what a freaking name could be? Because as I'm thinking about it, I can't even think of one. That's like, I think I think that's probably why maybe they tried to and then thought, let's just work off HBO, because nothing sounded good with it. Because Warner Plus doesn't indicate to the consumer that it's Warner Brothers Pictures, because they just changed Warner Brothers Pictures, so they couldn't use it anymore.
Just Warner Media.
What did they changed Warner Brothers Pictures, so they dropped the brothers off of it, the word brothers?
Yeah, it's Warner Media now.
Did they keep the logo the same? Because that's instantly. I would think WB Plus would work. That's that logo plays in front of so many movies, and in front of all the Dark Knight movies. The opening shot is that WB logo folding in, and there's every Warner Brothers movie has that logo attached to the front of it. So I would think, at least from a consumer standpoint, if you put that in an ad, they're going to instantly go, oh wait, yeah, they're the ones who did that movie I loved, and
Yeah.
So WB Plus would be my suggestion or vote.
I guess that's really their only option. I guess that's what I would go with. That's what you'd have to go with, really. I don't know. We'll just have to see. We can't. Like I said, we're not even paid by you guys. So I don't know why we're giving you all this advice, but I can see why you don't have a whole lot to work with, because you keep making all these shifts. You know what I mean? Because hell, at this point, you could have just called it AT&T Plus, and who knows, right? Who knows? But anyways, guys, let us know what you think down in the comment section below.